Hey, welcome back to the Buck and Ball Woodworks. So, not a brown best video because I can't just do one thing at once. I have to have a bunch of projects going, and ultimately, um, very rarely does any of them get completed 100%, except for this project. It did get done. So, uh, I'm going to run some video that I took earlier, and then we'll show you what crazy project I got into next. All right, so we're gonna roll some wonderful footage right now. All right, see you on the other side. So here's another crazy project I started thinking about. I've been researching wooden canteens online for my Rev War kit, and anything that seems decent is quite expensive, and there's a bunch of cheapo ones that I didn't really see great reviews on. So I have two Civil War canteens, and so I got the idea, can I make a wood case to go around the canteen? This way I have the leak-proof cleanliness of a stainless steel canteen, but hidden in a wooden shell. So right now I'm doing some measurements to try to get it. It's tending to be a little bigger than what I've seen online, so I'm messing around with some measurements. I have all this cedar T&G that I can rip down. So get my big finger out of the way. So that's what's going through my crazy mind at the moment. I'll keep you posted how it goes. So in between working on the Brown Bess, this is my canteen idea. I think it's going to work. I got a bunch of cedar. I'm just kind of scoping it out. I got to set up the table saw and come up with an angle that's going to miter these together nice. And then it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm not making a watertight cheese box. I just got to get it close because I'm going to paint it. Some of the originals were stained, or a lot of them were painted. So that's my plan. I'll use the strap. I have some leather straps that I'm going to use to wrap around it. And I do have some copper tacks. I think they'll be long enough. If not, I can purchase some other ones. And then use the same strap that was on it. And I'll make a wood cork. Well, that's where we're at. As it stands now, we're going to be about 3 3/4 thick and a 9-inch diameter. I have to get some big pipe clamps so I can fasten it, and then I got to take a 1/16 off all of these so I can get one more in here, drill a hole. But that's kind of it. So, as you see, I've been having fun, and I was messing with that in between working on the fire lock, and so I didn't take a lot of video. I took some video early on, And then, as usual, things, trying to wrap that canteen in wood. I was having struggles, and I was working out in the yard. It was actually a nice warm day, which isn't warm today. And I couldn't, I didn't have a good way to videotape it. So I have it back here. So I had a couple still shots that I did take, and then I figured I'd just wrap it all up with a video. And so, here it is. I just ended up painting it with some, my wife had some chalkboard paint. And so I painted it with that. And then we'll get to that part. But then I burnished it with some burlap. And then I had a strap from a cartridge box, a good canvas one. And so I just strapped that to the bottom. I did my copper tacks. Then I had some miscellaneous leather, so I did a little extra thing, a little extra leather support there. So, we're going to see how it holds up. The lid, so there's the stainless steel canteen inside there. It jiggles a little bit, but I think when it's full of water, it won't do that. Then I had the lid, so I can't use the metal cork thing that comes with the Civil War canteen. So I went online. I think I got these from Veteran Arms. These little wood plugs. And then I took a hole saw and I drilled out a chunk of wood. This is a piece of epay, but I used, I think I had a piece of teak. Yeah. This is a piece of teak. And then I drilled a hole in this side and I glued the stopper in there. And then, very tricky, since I had already had that hole coming through the whole center, I drilled in from the side, and I had fun trying to get that leather through there. But then, I need a drill press, though. That's going to be my next thing, because I can't, when you're hand drilling, things don't go perfectly straight. But, see, it doesn't rattle. It doesn't rattle. But, of course, that's not enough. That's not enough. I got to go the extra step. And I got a stencil. Yeah. Actually, I forget the name of the site. If I remember, I'll put it down in the bucket. But you got different. You could buy one-use ones, and they'll do. They got a bunch of different fonts. That was the oldest looking font I could find. And so I just figured I'd do our units from Pennsylvania. And this is like the old school, before they started using a double letter for states. This is how it used to be, the historic, antiquated way. And then I didn't want to specifically put my unit on here because I want to be able to use this for whatever. So I just did 1775. And so when we're, it'll work good. If we're doing, sometimes we just do, like we'll do local militia. When I carry it, I'll just carry it with this side facing out. So this way I can do two different things. The measurements, see if I could find the tape measure in all this mess here. Here we go. We ended up being 8 3/4. 8 3/4 on the diameter, and the thickness ended up being, it's about 3 3/4, 3 5/8 maybe. So it works, and it ain't gonna leak. And then the inside of all the wood got sealed. So, when I'm filling this thing, if water's leaking in there and it's getting water in there, it's not gonna swell up. So it's all just glued together, clamped with those pipe clamps. So we'll see. We'll see what the guys think when I show up with it. I don't think there's any feasible way to do this, though, that would be profitable. My wife was concerned it was going to be heavy. So, it's definitely heavier than just if I had the metal canteen. But I tried to use cedar, but I didn't have enough cedar, so some of these boards on here ended up being pine. Yeah, so we'll see how it does in the field. So Civil War canteen turned into an American Revolution canteen. I think the Confederates had some wood canteens at the beginning of the Civil War. Well, that's all I got to say about that. Right? There we are. All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in and seeing this crazy project of mine. And it's going to warm up. Trust me. It's going to warm up again. I hate when we get these 70-degree days and then like 2 days later it's back to freezing. But it's getting there. So get out there. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. And we'll see you in the next episode of the Brown Bess Project. All right. Hey, Kevin the Jersey Blue. Oh, I almost said the Jersey Piper. I almost did it. Anyway, Jersey Blue here. We'll see you soon.